So this video actually connects to my last video, and that's actually because while we were walking around looking for Lily's grave, we came across a grave of a 15-year-old girl. And out of curiosity, we were just talking about true crime and how you never know walking around graves if maybe that person was murdered. So we actually decided to just look into it. We googled the name and we found the craziest story, and I'm about to share that with you guys now. So Bailey Bradshaw was murdered at 15 years old. She was stabbed to death and had her throat slit so badly that she was almost decapitated. And the person who murdered her came forward and admitted that the reason he murdered her is because a year prior he had engaged in a sexual relationship with her at 14 years old when he was 23 while he lived in the family home. She shortly broke up with him so that she could pursue guys her own age, because any younger girl is kind of gonna want to be with people closer to her age, and this infuriated him. He begged for her back. He wanted them to continue the relationship, and she continued to reject him. So he just got angrier and angrier. He was no longer welcome in the home and he had to move out. He had threatened her because she continued to reject him. He told her that he was dead because of her not getting back together with him, and that meant her family was dead too, including if she was to get married and have kids, her husband and kids' deaths were going to be on her hands because she would not get back together with him. And he was afraid that Bailey was going to tell her family about their sexual relationship and that he was going to get in trouble. So he attempted to silence her. And on May 7th of 2018, she came home from school and she was talking on the phone with her mother when Sean was sitting there waiting for her to come home. He then proceeded to stab her several times and slit her throat. Bailey had actually consulted with her mother about the threats that Sean was sending her, and her mother and her had a plan in place to go to the police and report him for having sex with a minor and then also threatening her in violent ways. And she informed Sean that she was going to do so. He was in Ohio at the time, and he actually drove home all the way to Utah to kill her to prevent her from going to the police. After Sean murdered Bailey, he left bloody footprints all over the house leading to the back door, where he then discarded of the knife that he used to go through with killing her, and then he discarded his clothes in a Wyoming landfill. After a 2-day manhunt, he was found in Colorado and arrested. Sean French pleaded guilty to the murder of Bailey Bradshaw. And his exact words were, "Your Honor, it was either this or the death penalty." So after we looked up this and found these news articles about what Sean French had done to Bailey Bradshaw, it felt very eerie and almost uncomfortable standing there looking at her grave, because now I know what's underneath my feet. And now I know the story of the poor girl that lies there dead because of somebody else's hands. Bailey's dreams were to train dogs to be service animals to those in need, and that's what she really wanted to pursue in life. Everyone just described Bailey as being a sweet, caring person. Alright, you guys, I know this one was a little bit more heavy and it was a very sad story for me to get into and read, but I also thought it was really interesting how easy it was to find all of the articles based on just her full name. So, I mean, if you can, find a story of somebody in your local graveyard and pay respects to that poor person that maybe had a more cruel death than you would have expected. I always just kind of go to graveyards thinking that these are people that either died of old age or by some freak accident, and I never really do think that somebody was taken from their family suddenly and unfairly. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do apologize it was a more heavy one, but I had to cover it after I found out what I did just walking around the graveyard. But I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you guys will give this video a like, and you'll comment down below any other videos you may want me to cover. I'm really excited to get into the spooky stuff, and I hope you guys are too. Bye.